Once upon a time, there was a marvelous house on a modest hill at the edge of a quaint little town. The happy house was a good house. It loved to please anyone who would reside within its walls. Unfortunately, the house always knew that the people who would come to live in it would eventually leave. It struggled to understand the human mind. This made the happy house sad to think about how lonely it would be without a family. As it wondered, why do people leave me? Where do they go? I make them happy but end up alone. The happy house became overwhelmed with sadness. Then, the happy house was overjoyed when a family arrived, a daughter, a mother, and a father. They had a small dog with them as well. The happy house did not like animals very much. They never seemed to like the happy house either. Regardless of what the happy house did, it was happy that the dog made the family happy, and that was enough. The happy house thought that, in that regard, it might have something in common with the dog. The happy house noticed that the family seemed to want to change things inside it. Some of it felt ticklish, but a lot of it hurt. It did not want the family to leave, so it endured as much as it could until it realized they were getting closer and closer to its heart. The heart was a dark, moist room hidden behind the kitchen. It was always warm but filled with strange devices and machinery. It was a happy house's absolute favorite spot for humans to visit, but it was also the only part at risk of being damaged if the family decided to change it. If someone changes my big, happy heart, the happy house thought, perhaps the sadness will return. The happy house winced in fear at the idea. It knew that children were typically capable of less destruction, so it devised a plan for its own preservation. There will be only one I will allow inside, only the daughter. For her alone, my heart opens wide. Late in the night, while the daughter was sleeping, the happy house noticed something strange. The parents were awake in their room, panting and moaning, struggling to position themselves properly. They were struggling to sleep. The happy house knew it had to stop whatever was happening to them, for this clearly was not making them happy. I know the way to help them relax, thought the happy house. The shelf shall fall swiftly as an axe. No sooner did the happy house come up with the idea than the shelf fell, connecting with the father's head and putting him instantly to sleep. The mother seemed ecstatic. She screamed with joy and hopped out of bed. She hurried to the phone and began contacting someone. It was obvious she was so thrilled she had to share the news. The father never had trouble sleeping again. For several weeks, the happy house was so thrilled that the mother and daughter rarely left. The father did not do much. He had plenty of strange beeping machines around him now, and he really enjoyed sleeping. I've truly excelled, the happy house thought. I've never seen someone sleep half as well. The happy house praised itself, but it was worried it had done something wrong at first. The mother, daughter, and sleepy father left in a strange white vehicle, but they came back, and things had never been happier. The daughter found the entrance to the heart shortly after they returned. She certainly liked to spend time there, and this pleased the happy house to no end. She would often crawl into the lower cabinet beside the fridge. The happy house would gently shift its walls to let her in. It could tell she felt safe there. With the father enjoying his rest so much, the daughter and mother went to see him less and less. They must have been worried about interrupting his deep sleep. This was very blissful for the happy house, as it could feel the father's dreams. It saw many strange things, but mainly the family being together. It did not like that they weren't in a happy house in these dreams, but it was slowly working on trying to fix that too. Today is a sad day. I feel like I will cry. The father still remains inside. The daughter and dog went for a walk. The dog ran away and gave her a shock. Normally, the happy house would not have been terribly concerned about the dog, but it caused the mother and daughter to leave in search of it. They had been gone all day. The happy house knew it had to do something to bring them back, but could not think of what. As the hours passed, it dawned on the happy house. It truly is rude to interrupt rest, but waking him now would be for the best. The father rose, confused and weary. He had a strange vacancy in his thoughts. The happy house had never been this connected to a human before. It was truly a delight to know their mind. It guided the father to go outside and look for the place where the dog had hidden. It did not take long for the father to find the dog. He grabbed it tightly by the collar, and the dog began barking loudly. The happy house knew that the animal was causing far too much distress. For the poor family, the happy house knew it had to get rid of the dog. As the father gripped tighter, trying to stifle the dog's barks and whimpers, the happy house saw the mother and daughter running toward them. To the father's surprise, the dog slipped free and ran off into the surrounding trees. The daughter was overjoyed to greet the father and hopped into his arms. This is exactly as it should be, thought the happy house. The dog is better too, having been freed. Everything seemed to be coming back into place for the happy house, but it noticed that the mother hadn't greeted the father yet. Instead, she looked off into the distance, where the dog had run. For some strange reason, the happy house could see something through the father's eyes, something it couldn't see on its own. The mother was not happy. She seemed concerned. As time passed, the daughter remained happy, and the mother appeared happy too for a while. It was strange, though. Now that the happy house could connect with the father, everything seemed different through his eyes. The happy house could tell the father how to feel, so he was usually happy, but for some reason, he had strange desires that the happy house couldn't quell. It also noticed, through the father's eyes, that the mother was not truly happy. There was something missing. The happy house studied the family for some time, trying to understand the father's thoughts. It even began to understand the strange noises that the daughter and mother would make. It seemed that they were concerned because the father wasn't making noises anymore. One day, the mother made it clear that she wanted to live elsewhere. She wasn't happy in the house. The images of the mother and father tossing and turning on the night of the father's long sleep came into the happy house's mind. What can I do? I've given so much. Maybe she misses the father's old touch, the happy house thought. It made the father head to the bedroom, where the mother was packing her things. The happy house relinquished its hold on the father, hoping to simply observe. It couldn't help but notice that the daughter had quickly run to the cabinet and was entering the heart. She must have been so happy that her parents were reuniting. The father stood blankly in front of the mother, unsure of what to do next. Without the happy house, how could he know what to do? Suddenly, the mother started running down the stairs. She was yelling something to the daughter. She wanted both of them to leave. The daughter was slowly crawling out of the cabinet, heading toward the mother. You can't let them go. Use all of your might. Don't leave me alone. It just isn't right, the happy house thought, as its commands once more filled the atmosphere. The father, filled with intense emotion, swiftly went to the closet in the hallway and removed an axe. He stormed down the stairs to find the mother facing the kitchen. She reached for the daughter's arm, but the father's axe was too quick. The happy house could no longer feel the presence of the mother at all. The daughter screamed, tears streaming down her face. She turned back toward the kitchen and fled to the heart. For the first time, the happy house could tell that the daughter was scared. It felt the terrible flood of negative emotions through the father, who was still connected to it. The mother is gone, the happy house thought with sorrow. Sad as it is, go comfort your daughter. At least she still lives. The father grunted in acknowledgement of the happy house's command, the first sound of sentience he had made since his coma. With a firm stride, he headed into the kitchen. As the footsteps drew nearer and nearer, the daughter scrambled for an escape. She began yanking clusters of wires, clawing at the walls and pulling at stray pipes. The happy house started to writhe in agony as she damaged the machinery. The foundations began to shake. Stop her now at any cost, the happy house urged. She's harming my heart. Our paradise is lost. Without hesitation, the father swung the axe into the wall again and again. He was able to see her through the gap in the wall. She screamed even louder, banging on some strange infernal machine. Inside, the father hacked and hacked, and the happy house began to feel weak. It tried to issue one last command to the father. I'm losing my hold, but I can't let you free, it thought. If I lose my strength, you'll be my host. The fog in the father's mind had cleared, and thoughts returned. Terrible images burned in his mind. He questioned his brain. Is this all real? He wondered. He struggled with what to feel, the confusion overwhelming him. My thoughts are riddles. Why do I rhyme? The happy house's voice then chimed in his mind, the last words it would say. I am now we are one. Don't be troubled by what we have done. The man saw his daughter's mangled remains. What have I done? He cried out in shame. A final idea struck him. He knew what he had to do. It's my own. I'll burn it all down, this demonic hellhome, with trembling hands. He gently blew out the pilot lights and cranked all the knobs on the oven. After closing the kitchen doors and windows, he sifted through a drawer, finding a matchbook. The man sat down, no longer a father, no longer a husband, a deranged cadence of protest echoing through his thoughts as he waited. He could smell the gas building, and he felt lightheaded. Don't continue. You know what you do. We'll start again anew. The happy house pleaded in desperation. My family is gone. I can't comprehend. This is the way. Together, we end. He said aloud, I'm ready. He struck the match. To this day, in the locals' lore, it is said that if you go to the woods by the edge of town, you'll hear shrill screams and smell smoke and fire. No one around will call you a liar. If you venture close enough, be ready to pray. Ignore all the whispers, whatever they say. There's a dog in the ruins, weeping at will, up in the ashes of Happy House Hill.